Have you noticed as you live in your life, they go by, then it's a week, then it's a month, and then suddenly you just start to feel really down. You don't feel good. You don't feel happy anymore. And then one day you just wake up and you feel something needs to change, but you don't know what it is. How to change now. Hi and welcome. I am really excited to have you here with me. My name is Evette Rose and I'm going to be your host for today. So let's dive into changing now. And remember, if you love my content, then also hit the subscribe button, stay up to date and stay with me as well. So in the journey of life, there often comes a time when we feel the need to change. We feel like we need to realign our priorities, our goals, and also our mindset. And this desire for renewal, this can come from various sources, such as dissatisfaction with your current circumstances. Maybe there's a longing for a deeper meaning as well, simply just like this yearning for inner peace and a sense of fulfillment. So today we're going to be looking at different approaches to almost like re-establishing our life by integrating the principles of what I call the Star of Life, with the profound wisdom also of Buddhism, something that I love to sometimes incorporate into my life. I don't practice it, but there's some certain key concepts that I absolutely love. So by combining also these two different philosophies, we're going to be aiming to dive into a very profound, comprehensive guide to transforming your life and also self-discovery. Now, briefly also just understanding the Star of Life principles. So I actually have a Star of Life here. It's actually what the purpose of the star is. So when you look at the Star of Life, right, it symbolizes key aspects of your life. So each leg is an aspect of your life. So it can be love, career, spirituality, your health. So when we start to look at these different aspects, when you are too focused in one leg of the star, let's say your career, when you put your star like this or even up, what's going to happen if you focus too much on one leg? It's going to become out of balance. And then now we need to figure out how do we bring the star back into balance? But you're so focused on what you're doing in this one leg that you're not paying attention to the other legs. And then the other areas becomes problematic. But we're so focused on this one leg that we just try to throw whatever solution we think can stick to these other areas. Like maybe your health starts playing up. We throw medication at it, like just deal with it, go away so I can focus on my career. Or the relations side starts to play up and you don't want to deal with that either. So all these other areas can start to become problematic because all your energy is in one leg. And that means your star of life becomes out of balance. So how do we bring this star into balance and how do we change now? So the first point is detection. The first step into reestablishing a life that is more coherent is to become aware of the areas that require change, because this now involves, deep introspection and honest self-assessment. Sometimes being honest with ourselves can be the hardest thing to do, but it can be the most powerful step that you can take, because it is through that honesty that you really truly can diagnose and establish what needs to shift in your life. Another point also is what I call reporting. So once you identified areas for improvement, it is so important to communicate your intentions and to look for the right support to help you to achieve that. The third one is response. Taking decisive action is incredibly important and in affecting meaningful change. So by setting clear, achievable goals and developing a plan of action, this is where you can start to break down bigger objectives into smaller, manageable steps to maintain momentum and to avoid feeling that very well-known feeling called overwhelm. Another point also is on-the-scene care. So just as an emergency responders, they provide, immediate care to people who are in need, it's also really important to prioritize self-care during this process of reestablishing your life. And this includes nurturing your physical your mental and your emotional well-being through whatever exercises it is that you feel you relate to. It can be meditation, it can be, I have powerful healing techniques as well. It can be anything else that you feel that you relate to, but that maintenance is incredibly important. Number 5 is care in transit. So change is a journey. And it's also really important to work on cultivating, establishing patience and resilience along the way as well. Because when you embrace the inevitable ups and downs as an actual opportunity to learn and remain adaptable, then in the face of these unexpected challenges, it actually will place you in a solution oriented mindset instead of feeling disempowered by it. Big difference. Number 6 is transfer to definitive care. That means finally now seek support, seek guidance from professionals or from people who are experts, or Google them or just follow them on social media and these different relevant fields that can help you to facilitate your growth, or who can lead by example that you feel inspired by without sacrificing your identity. Now, I want to share also with you a few principles that I included into my life as well. Number 1, embrace impermanence. Because this is a very powerful philosophy, and it is the recognition of impermanence, right? The understanding that all things, including our circumstances and identities, is transient. So by accepting the impermanent nature of life, we really truly can start to release attachment to fixed outcomes and then actually embrace change as a natural part of our existence. Key number 2, cultivate mindfulness, because mindfulness, or the practice of present moment awareness, is fundamental. This can include, for example, going through meditations. This can be very helpful already. So by cultivating mindfulness in your daily life, you can really start to develop much more clarity, more focus, more emotional resilience. So really start to pay attention to your thoughts, to your feelings, and to sensations. And here's the important part: without judgment. Without judgment. Because when you take judgment out of it, you leave more space for self-compassion and to understand yourself and the world around you much better. Key number 3 is practice compassion. So we already briefly touched on that. Compassion is very important towards yourself and towards others as well, because as you start to reestablish your life, it's really going to be crucially important to have self-compassion by treating yourself with kindness and also understanding, especially during moments of struggles or perceived setbacks as well. Key number 4, let go of attachment. So attachment lies at the root of so much suffering. So when you start to move on to a new journey, right, it's really important to practice letting go of attachment to material possessions, status, any egoic identities. Instead, find fulfillment in the present moment and start to cultivate a sense of inner contentment that's independent of external circumstances, because your external circumstances will always change and fluctuate. That you cannot control. But this inner world, you can control. Now, key number 5, live with intention. I cannot emphasize the importance of living with intention and purpose. And now you might sit there and say, well, I don't know what my purpose is. It doesn't matter. When you love someone, love them with purpose. When you do something, do it with purpose, do it with intentions. Be conscious, be clear of why you do what you do, why you love people the way that you love them. Sometimes people don't ask enough why questions, but in a healthy way. And I say in a healthy way, I mean in the sense, in the context of learning to understand yourself better. Because as you reestablish your life, it's important to clarify your values. And this is a powerful way of doing that. Clarify your aspirations and your priorities and align your actions with your deepest values. And then you can start to cultivate a sense of purpose that can really truly start to transcend personal gain, contributing to the well-being of yourself, but also spontaneously to other people. And sometimes for me, that in itself can be a purpose, because the world at large, we all need compassionate people, because sometimes just that one compassionate witness can change the life of one person in such a dramatic way. It's just that we don't always see that ripple effect. So there you have it, guys. So remember, those steps are really, really important. And also have a look at my playlist, also transformation and healing. There are so many powerful healing videos there that can help you to really radically change your life. And also, if you would love to also learn how you can heal and change your life, then go to Heal with Evette and book a free discovery call with me. And I would love to hear from you. And also remember, subscribe here, stay up to date with my channel, and I will be seeing you soon again. Thanks for watching.